On the agenda, we have a review of the monthly finance reports. And Leslie, could you give us a brief synopsis of that?
Do you mind if I call the roll first?
No, I think that'd be appropriate. Thank you.
Mr. Fitzgerald,
Present.
Mr. Toledano, Ms. O'Brien, Mr. Stefanczyk, Mr. Airy. We have a quorum.
Thank you. So, Ms. Long, now maybe we can proceed with agenda item 1.
Yes, sir. Item 1, which is a monthly finance report, I distributed it to all the council members in the chambers, and we will also send it out by email through Ashley. So included in the monthly financial report are, the first report is of sales tax collections through the month of April. And so year to date, we are, certainly we've had some reductions in sales tax collections due to the COVID stay-at-home orders. But we are down 2% year to date, which is $336,000. And so we're hopeful that that will continue to just a small reduction for year to date. The second report that you have in your packet is for the actual to budget through May 31st, which is 42% of the year. So all revenues are on target. Of course, just to remind you again that we have notes next to each item to help you understand the timing of the revenues, particularly ad valorem taxes, which we talked about tonight. Those were the 2020 taxes will not be billed until near the end of the year, and from a cash perspective, won't be collected until December, January, February. Expenses are under the 42%. If they are over the 42%, there is a note because of same thing for timing. Maybe the expenditure occurs just once a year, and so we have notes for each of those. So all departments are within budget, and other revenue sources are, we haven't seen a reduction in those other items such as occupational licenses, cable franchise fees, which also generate money in our general fund. And the last report in the packet is from our Human Resource Department. It's a vacancy report or a staffing report, which will show you the number of active and vacant positions as of June 22nd.
Thank you very much. And, with that report, it certainly allays many of our worst fears. Certainly we're not out of the woods yet with COVID, but the damage done to this point has been remarkably low up to this point. We want to stay vigilant, of course, and try to do our best to predict what's in our future. But to this point, it's been, I would say, surprisingly good, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir. And we are monitoring it, throughout the month. And our next report, we should be getting it on the 10th of July, or around the 10th of July, which will have the May information. So we'll get that out to you as soon as we have it.
Thank you. Any comments on the report or any from anyone? Fine. Let's move on then to a review of the proposed ordinances and regulations for the meeting. Ms. Long, if you would, with 12.
Yes, sir.
6415.
Yes, sir. These were some of the ones that were referred from the agenda review tonight. Ordinance Calendar 6415, which is Amendment 18 to the 2020 Capital Improvement Budget. As discussed a little earlier, this is a grant-funded project, and it's for an increase of, I think, $50,260 for the Little Bayou Castine Drainage Project. Ordinance Calendar 6416 is Amendment 19 to the 2020 Capital Improvement Budget, and that is to identify what we call a fixed asset, which will be the acquisition of the land at Safe Haven, 45 acres, and there's also buildings on the site as well. That is also grant funded by a HUD CDBG grant. Ordinance Calendar 6417 is a 2020 grants budget, Amendment 6. That is for 3 awards, one for the increase in the Little Bayou Castine project, Rural Transit, which is runs with the state fiscal year from July to June, and also a $30,000 award for airport maintenance via a CARES Act increase from FAA.
Excellent.
And then we have
ahead.
one ordinance that's going to be for adoption. We discussed it last month as well, but it's Amendment 5 to the grants budget, and it was for 3 awards, primarily for energy assistance, rental assistance, and a $5,000 award from Petco that our Animal Services Group was successful in receiving.
Thank you. Is there any discussion before we move to send this to the full consideration of the council? Do I hear a motion to refer? Yes. Do I hear a motion to refer from you, Mr. Toledano? Yes. Is there a second? Good. Any further discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Unanimous. Thank you. Any other further comments that we have this evening? Audience, members of the council, administration? Good. Let us entertain a motion to adjourn. Meeting adjourned. Thank you.